Hi, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Thursday, June 23rd, News from Arkansas. I'd direct you this week, today, to the Arkansas Times issue with a cover story on criminal justice reform in Arkansas. It's by our editor, Lindsay Miller. It's an important story. It's about the strong move toward so-called reform, that is, reducing the number of people in prison, trying to provide meaningful lives for people who've left prison, but about how hard that is. The numbers of people in Arkansas prison are rising. We haven't yet really come to grips with providing treatment for drug addiction as opposed to incarceration. Governor Asa Hutchinson has a good record on being on the right side of criminal justice reform, but so far the things that have been done by the Arkansas legislature don't move us very much in that direction. I'd urge you to take a look at the story. It's a topic that we're going to hear a lot more of in the days ahead. The Human Rights Campaign, the leading gay rights lobby in the country, announced today that Apple, Dow Chemical, and Levi Strauss had announced their support for a federal non-discrimination law. That is, you could not be discriminated against in employment on the grounds of your sexual orientation. That, of course, wouldn't fly in Arkansas. We have resisted either policy or law that would protect people in employment. The ruling political class in Arkansas wants to discriminate against gay people. Major corporations like Apple don't. If we're going to grow industry here, it seems like we'd be more in line with what major corporations want. Perhaps tomorrow or another day. Speaking of major corporations, the Walton Family Foundation has announced that the Walton family fortune is going to devote some of its millions to establishing an independent school in Bentonville. That is a private school supported by private money. It will be an elite private school. It's going to be headed by a man who's currently a dean at Princeton University. This is more along the lines of something we talked about yesterday, the bringing of urban qualities and features to Bentonville to make it a more attractive place for people who go to Walmart to work. An elite private school is just part of that menu, I believe. Tom Cotton, the U.S. Senator, still getting called down for saying things that aren't quite true. A president of the Federal Claims Court Bar Association says he's misquoted statistics on the caseload of that court and being the solo objection to filling some vacancies on that court. Cotton has been accused of trying to favor a former corporate employer of his and a campaign contributor by blocking appointments to that court. He's also been called down by PolitiFact, the fact-checking service, for saying things that are not quite right about what President Obama has done and moving toward a nuclear deal with Iran. No, Obama did not did not support depriving Iran of nuclear energy use in all forms. He was opposed to nuclear weapons program. Big difference. Justice Rhonda Wood, the most injudicious of the Arkansas Supreme Court, she maintains a Twitter account. She says a lot of things out of school in the court. Decided she'd give an interview to Democrat Gazette columnist John Brummett about some things that have been reported in the Arkansas Times about internal deliberations of the court. Because other people have violated confidence of the court, Justice Wood says, well, she's going to have to do it too. She has confirmed what I've reported previously, which is a majority of the Supreme Court was prepared to overturn Chris Piazza and find no, it was not a violation of the Arkansas Constitution to have a ban on same-sex marriage. That's what I reported. That was going to be the ruling if the U.S. Supreme Court had ruled differently and ruled against marriage equality. It did not. The Arkansas Supreme Court, as you know, shamefully went into the tank on this and didn't issue a ruling at all, although it had expedited the case 8 months before they dismissed it. Elsewhere today, John Rogers, the famous photo archivist in North Little Rock, who's now tied up in millions of dollars worth of civil disputes, was arrested last night at the Fox and Hounds bar in North Little Rock under a contempt of court order in a civil lawsuit. His lawyers hope to spring him today. Once the toast of the town for his photo archiving service, he now has many problems ahead of him. Conway police announced today that they'd arrested the 14-year-old grandson of two people found shot to death at their home in Conway yesterday. They haven't released his name yet or what prompted him to shoot his grandparents. And finally, we started an interesting conversation on the blog today, and I'd be interested to hear what y'all have to say. A developer is trying to talk the city into letting him lease some land in front of the Doubletree Hotel, land that's now used just as a plaza and a fountain, to put in a Ruth's Chris steakhouse, a chain steakhouse. It seems that city officials are reluctant to go along with this idea. I think they're probably right to preserve public open space, particularly right next door to the historic Old State House. But other people might have a different view. The comments on our blog have been interesting. I urge you to take a look. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.